Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the shit show. Thank you, everyone, for showing up tonight to hang out with us for a little bit. And I want to thank Ruben and Orange Hat for joining me tonight to talk about some real juicy details about some things that are happening this week. And I want to start off with this little tidbit. Oh, darn it. I'm so bad at this.
Fucking hilarious, folks.
I know, I kill myself. Let's see here. It's number 19.
Before we start, Janet, you gotta say what's up, Doc.
Oh, it's Easter weekend. We're getting ready for Easter. That's why I wanted to wear my ears. What's up, Doc? There you go. All right. Here we go. Can you see this?
Yeah, make it bigger.
Okay,
yes, we can.
I just want to make sure you can see it. Wait, stop, pause. Okay, there. Now you can see it. Make sure the volume's up. So here we go.
Favorite artist has quit. This is just breaking across the wires. She's saying she's never performing again after doing this event last night. What happened?
Well, no one knows what happened behind closed doors when she was hanging out with Bill Clinton and Joe Biden. But all I can say is that this is the
first. It must have been an earthquake there.
Music industry. I mean, this is worse than the Beatles retiring. This is worse than the tragic passing of Elvis Presley. This is worse than when Sinatra retired and then blessedly unretired in the 70s. This is a dark day for American music.
Will there be any celebrity musicians at Donald Trump's fundraiser next week? Should we expect Queen Latifah or anybody of that caliber, Lizzo, so to speak?
We should only be so lucky if we could get somebody the caliber of a Lizzo. But here's the most important point. The most important point is that one man went and raised money from Wall Street. Another man went and honored a slain officer. That is the choice before the American people. Back the blue or back the corrupt Wall Street paymasters of Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Happy Easter, Miller. Go find.
Okay. So there we go.
So yeah, folks. Let me share this, Janet. This is her statement. Let me present. Share screen. No need to share audio, so screw that. So yeah, apparently, folks, Lizzo has had enough.
Okay, it's coming.
So yeah, welcome to Orange Hat Uncensored too, by the way. Is it up?
Yep.
Yeah. It's God,
All right, so yeah,
horrible font choice and colors. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's from whoever.
Hey, that's orange. Leave it alone.
Well,
yeah, I would have done
white
black,
and orange,
or I would have done black font, but yeah, white and orange is never good.
That's
but
racist.
It says, I'm getting tired of putting up with being dragged. Yeah, I know, with being dragged by everybody in my life and on the internet. I don't think, no offense, Lizzo, but I don't think anybody could drag you. All I wanted was to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little bit or a little better than how I found it. Okay. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. More on that later. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views. Being the butt of the joke every single time because how I look. My character being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. I didn't sign up for this shit. I quit. Just shows that, well, first off, you being the butt of a lot of jokes, well, you made yourself that way, Lizzo. You made yourself that way.
Yeah.
So when people
I'm shocked. I mean, Would you guys have expected anything like this to happen after having 2 presidents sitting in your audience, or 3 presidents sitting in your audience? What kind of person quits after having 3 presidents attend your concert? I mean,
Well,
there's greater.
I'm
There's
wondering
greater.
what the hell triggered it.
Well, there's greater. Well, the greater
Well,
context. The greater context here is the fact that outside of the presentation or the fundraiser yesterday in New York, there was a massive protest by Palestinian protesters.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
more than likely they did contact her and send a lot of stuff her way, and she didn't expect that kind of backlash. So
What was
that
she
compounding with
thinking?
everything else. Well, she was just thinking that she's supporting the Democratic Party.
mhm.
But the thing is
Dude,
that,
has she not been paying attention?
no.
People with that kind of money and that kind of lifestyle, they don't live like we do. They don't notice that, how
They
expensive
should.
it is to buy a bag of salad, or some fruit at the grocery store, or a loaf of bread.
No, I mean,
They don't
look at
they
New
don't
York
break
City.
everything down that way anymore. You
I mean,
lose
if
track.
she's in New York City, if she lives in New York City, she should have known that New York City has been having a lot of pro-Palestine riots and shit, and that the Democrats are basically being eaten alive by the communists that they pandered to, due to the fact that, well, they're not going along, or they're not towing the communist line of backing a terrorist organization. But Lizzo, you did all this shit to yourself. You say that you're quitting. Well, here's the thing. You made yourself unlikable. The choices you made at becoming a public figure, at saying, oh, I am a beacon of body positivity, when you weigh so much that if you jumped out of a plane, you could literally cause an extinction level event. I mean,
Well, I'm not going to
sorry.
make fun of her for her weight. Okay,
No,
I'm not
I mean,
going to say anything about her weight.
All right, yes. I'll
To me,
apologize for that one.
I don't
But
think
the
that
thing
really
is-
has anything to do with it. I really don't.
No,
I
actually, it
think
does.
that-
In a way, it does, because she
Why?
used her weight. She used her weight to say body positivity and this and that, saying that it's healthy to be at this weight. It isn't.
Well,
Why do you think you're losing weight?
the thing
Because
is,
you realized
I don't think
it.
that's what I don't think that's what she meant when she said that. When I watched her say that,
she was saying it when she was gaining
felt-
weight.
I felt she said it because she was trying to get people to understand that you can still have a positive attitude about the way you look, and accept that you're not going to be 120 pounds, and that you should accept that you're not, like everybody
If
else.
that is her message.
That's
If
healthy.
that is her message, that's commendable. But
And
if
I
her
say that
message,
to everybody. I say that to everyone. Be yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're short or you're fat or you're black
Yeah.
or you're white or you're bald or you have alopecia, if you have acne, it doesn't matter. You have
No,
to
it
just
doesn't.
be yourself, enjoy who you are, like what you are, and improve on yourself to make yourself happier. That's the kind of things that I tell people, because
Yeah.
that's truth. Because you can be happy in the shell that God gave you to live in, because I do believe in God. Okay, I am a Christian, and I do believe in that. And to me, every single one of us is different because of our DNA and our fingerprints, and all that prove that we're not the same as anyone else on this planet. And why are you this way? Why do you look the way you look? And what do you like about yourself? Do you like you have pretty eyes, or nice lips, or you got a good figure? Or is it your brain or your intellect, your personality? Work on all those things. Make all of that better so that you can be a better person to others, and other people will treat you better, unless they're just a skank. I mean, you can't do anything about scammers. You can't do anything about liars and people that use other people. Because even attractive people lie, steal, and break your heart. You know what I'm saying? So,
yes.
it has
But-
nothing to do with what your shell looks like on how you treat people. But
Very
if
true.
that's what she was saying and trying to tell people it's okay to be overweight, then yeah, I would understand that. But when I saw her say what she said, I took it as be positive about who you are and love yourself. the way you are and work on it. Work on improving who you are and loving yourself and having confidence in who you are. That's what I took from it. So, but I just was shocked as shit when Ruben told me that she quit. I was like, you gotta be kidding. I gotta see this shit. So
way to drop that bomb there, Ruben.
I thought it was.
It just happened, so that's why.
Yeah, it just happened recently.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, because I missed it.
But again, she did make these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
She chose to allegedly do some very disgusting things over in Europe with a banana and her female workers.
I didn't know anything about any of that. I haven't heard any of that.
She's getting sued for sexual harassment because allegedly she forced some of her female background dancers to eat a banana out of her cooch.
What? Well, if she did that, then she should get in trouble for it.
Well, yeah, and
but
she
doesn't like I just had stuff happen in my family. Okay, you know about some of the things that happened with my niece and everything, but people do accuse people that are lying. Okay, so we got to let the courts or whoever this is set up, we got to let that straighten that out. But as long as it's going to court and they'll find out the truth, then that's the way it should go. And I firmly believe in our legal system. I think even though it's not perfect, it's the best one in the
legal system
world.
In this case. It's a foreign court in this case because it happened in Finland. But allegedly happened in Finland. The basis of the complaint happened over there. Now the thing is, folks, I am going to say allegedly because I don't know the truth of what happened. If the truth or if it turns out that did actually happen, then she's a deviant. But the thing is, Lizzo has said a lot of things and done a lot of things in which she has made herself unlikable. And therefore, people have reacted negatively to her. She decided to be a public figure. So when you are a public figure, you're on the internet. You are a public face, like me, like Janet, like Ruben. We are on the internet. We have channels. We are doing content and shit. If we get caught doing some stupid shit, well, then we are going to have to freaking take that backlash and whatnot. But the thing is, that's why we try to keep it, or that's why we try to have a little bit of anonymity here and there. But I personally, or my life is out in the open because of official record and shit. But I don't mind. Other people like to be a little bit more private. But when it comes to Lizzo, she is a pop icon. She is an influencer and whatnot. She chose that life. Now she's quitting that life. Good luck getting the genie back in the bottle. Because the thing is,
she says she's going to quit. Okay, because she's pissed and angry. But when her lifestyle... but when her lifestyle starts to change due to the fact she doesn't have all this anymore, I think she'll start saying, "Well, I think I can, adjust, or I'll make some changes, or whatever." So time will tell. Yeah, time will tell, and we'll find out what decisions she decides she's going to make for her life. And she might not even be able to make decisions. She might be in jail, or she might lose a lot of stuff because she has to pay a bunch of people that said they were harassed by her. And if they have the evidence, then, she should pay. Because I do believe that if you break the law, get a speeding ticket, or do something, you're peeping Tom or whatever it is, and you get caught, then, you should get punished. And part of our problem in our big cities and stuff, as I say this all the time, is the fact they just get a little slap on the wrist, and the criminals win, and the people like you and me that pay taxes get screwed. That's basically what we're seeing in the cities. But I don't want that. I don't want that to keep happening. So I'm hoping that the future is going to be brighter.
Also, folks, yes, I did do a fat joke earlier, which I apologize. But I will say this. I am one person that can actually say it and get away with it, because myself, I do kind of got a big gut. And I'm at 300 pounds and whatnot. So when I make fun of people who are large and obese, I'm also making fun of myself because I am
but
kind of like that.
you can handle that. But a lot of people might be, like my grandmother, she had thyroid problems and she only she was only like 5'1". So she was a little pumpkin. It's what we called her, nicknamed her Pumpkin and stuff. But when I was a kid, I didn't realize it was going to hurt her feelings. But now I'm an adult. So, I just try to get people to be positive about themselves, because if you love who you are, then you want to make yourself the best it can be. And that means you'll work towards every aspect that you can of your life to better yourself. Okay. Yeah. Whether it's your diet or whether it's your job or your family or any of those things, it's all up to us to make those decisions. So,
and myself, I'm actually making efforts to actually lose weight, because honestly, I recognize and I can actually feel the less energetic and whatnot as I am
and
bigger,
that happens
because
it happens when you get older. Hate to say
well, not
that.
only that, but also the overweight, it does knock you out a little bit too. Oh. But moving on past Lizzo, I mean, best of luck to you, Lizzo. If you're actually quitting the biz, best of luck to you in your endeavor to whatever you choose to do. But just know that whatever you choose to do, your choices, you have to abide by whatever consequences come their way. I mean, I'm sorry that you have been mistreated and whatnot, but you made choices in which to be a public figure, and you got to deal with that shit. So what was the next one? You want me to do?
All right, I got it right here. I'm going to open it up. Can you see anything?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on. I gotta click on the right one. It was, I think this is it. Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, it is. Okay, this is it. Here it is, right here. Okay, push pause. I'm gonna make it bigger. Yeah, this is what I want to talk about. So here we go. Let's listen to this, and then we'll talk about it.
Billionaire hip-hop Sean Diddy Combs had his Miami and LA homes turned upside down in an alleged sex trafficking raid conducted by Homeland Security. A producer's lawsuit accusing Diddy of being worse than Jeffrey Epstein. TMZ had put Diddy's LA house after the feds ripped it apart. Drawers on the floor, safes cracked into, documents rifled through, electronics seized. TMZ reporting that agents zeroed in on Diddy's hard drives. Tonight, Diddy's whereabouts still unknown. His alleged drug mule, a former Syracuse basketball player, was arrested at Miami Airport, and he's been accused of acquiring and distributing Diddy's drugs and guns. But how was this allowed to get so big and so bad? Diddy, one of the biggest names in the music business, 3 Grammys, a long list of Billboard hits, and side ventures making him a billionaire. For 2 decades, Diddy was the Democrats' biggest black celebrity influencer. In 2004, Diddy spearheaded the Vote or Die movement at the DNC.
We're spreading a simple, urgent message. Vote or die. Yes, it's that serious. They used to joke around about us, say we were disenfranchised, we were too lazy to vote. On November 3rd, they won't be laughing no more. The youth of America will have the last laugh.
And Black America listened.
People said vote or die. People voted because Puffy said vote or die.
Vote or die.
You know, if he affected me, then he must have affected millions of us young black people.
I voted for Kerry just because.
Obviously, I voted for Kerry, so
I voted for
I want to make sure.
I voted for John Kerry.
I
voted for John Kerry because simply, you know what I'm saying?
Back then, Diddy was slobbering all over Hillary.
You're one of the few politicians that young people relate to. And we wanted to just hear the message on why you feel it's important for them to vote this year.
I really think that this year, more than any other, young people have their entire futures at stake. And I believe your slogan, vote or die, is accurate.
Diddy says young people relate to Hillary? How much did that cost? Here he is with Barack.
When you want to be the president of the United States, you call your man, call MTV.
Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate
Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this.
And I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool. And I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool.
We wearing a t-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
In 2008, Diddy went from vote or die to Obama or die.
My name is Barack Obama. No, my name is not Barack Obama. My name is Barack Obama. It's very important that you do not believe the polls. The polls are trying to say that my brother from another mother, Barack Obama, is up leading in the polls by 10 points. Don't believe that, brother. See, this is where we mess up. We start believing in the hype and we get too comfortable. Be ready to stand in the lines. Let's keep the heat on. Let's bring it home.
And then in 2020, Diddy went on a media tour for Biden.
White men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. This man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote. When you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
Democrats used Diddy's charisma, star power, and street cred in the black community every single election. For Diddy, this was a business opportunity. He was blessed by the professional class and commercialized. He was in the back pocket of the powerful, and that made him powerful with a free pass. He was so loved that New York City Mayor Eric Adams handed him the key to the city.
Hey, yo, New York! New York, we did it! Harlem, we did it. Mount Vernon, we did it. The Bronx, we did it. Let's go. The key to the city. Yeah. I'm coming to the garden with the then I'm going to be in Brooklyn this Sunday. I'm not playing with you, New York. I'm going to give you this love. It's a love rampage.
Diddy didn't just have the key to the city. He had the key to the country. He endorsed the Democrats, politicked for them, and got souls to the polls, as they say. But there was more to it than that. He was a political enforcer.
I was banished. I was exiled. I was canceled multiple times. All of the usual suspects, the handlers, Dave Chappelle, Meek Mills, Diddy, all these people aren't in position. Now, for us as celebrities, they got to call them, put a leash on them. What are we going to do with Ye? Diddy, give him a call. Tell him we ain't like the t-shirt. Tell him, like, right now the agenda is this is the voting agenda for the celebrities, for the black. Make them do exactly what LeBron would do. Make them do exactly what Drake would do.
Diddy knows the celebrity agenda for voting, especially for black celebrities. It's Democrat. And if you get out of line, you get a call from Diddy. What did he get in exchange for all of this political influence? According to the bombshell lawsuit filed by his former producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, Diddy was allowed to wreak havoc. The legal complaint alleges Diddy bragged about getting away with shooting people and that his head of security had the power to make problems and people disappear. Diddy was never charged for the nightclub shooting involving his ex-girlfriend, J-Lo. His prodigy, Shine, took the fall. There was also a shooting inside one of his studios. Again, no charges. The complaint says Diddy's head of security paid off law enforcement. The lawsuit claims Diddy had an affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders who would frequent his homes. Lil Rod alleges he witnessed Diddy distributing guns from his bedroom closet in Miami and LA to questionable individuals dressed in all black. Last night, we described the allegations surrounding freak-off parties at his homes, where sex workers and underage girls were given laced drinks. These parties were attended by celebrities, politicians, athletes, and music label executives. His former producer claims every room in Diddy's homes wired with hidden cameras. And these parties were sponsored by Universal Music, Motown Records. The complaint says there was blackmail, piles of narcotics, and grooming of young and aspiring talent. This lifestyle has been simmering under the surface for years.
I call him and say, hey, I have a family member who I want you to hire them as an intern.
Yeah.
And I have never talked about this publicly. And he said yes. And they were flying around, one of the interns, Atlanta, Miami, whatever, on the jet, in the house, whatever. And then the internship stopped abruptly, like 3 or 4 months into it. Why did it end? He wouldn't say. And years later, they finally came out, and this is a male, and said that Puff had said, come home, stay the night with me, or the internship is over. And they said, absolutely not. He said, absolutely not. And the internship ended.
Now, if Diddy's found guilty, he's a combination of Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, both of those men also moved at the highest levels of the Democratic Party. How prevalent is sexual blackmail in American industry and Democrat politics? It's more than we think. And the powerful not only tolerate it, they participate in it because it makes some of them more rich and more powerful if they play the game, whether they have a choice or not. Tonight, the New York Post is reporting that alleged victims of Diddy have been talking a lot. And we're hearing a lot of people in Diddy's orbit, names you know, are very worried. Derek Parker is a former member of the NYPD's Rap Intel unit, and he joins me now. You had dealings with Diddy back in the day. What was that like?
Well, I dealt with him when he had problems with assaults, and he had the shooting at Club New York back in those days. So I was probably the detective that was assigned to go out and investigate what happened at those particular locations with Steve Stout with MTV and with the shooting at the New Yorker Club.
Now, the word is that he had his girlfriend at the time, J-Lo, smuggle the gun inside the club. He never caught any charges for it, but his boy went down. Now you see him at the top. I mean, billionaire, all the hits. He's mentoring everybody in the business. But there's some sinister things happening under the surface, according to this lawsuit. Did you see that coming?
Yes. When I saw the payoff with Cassie, and I saw that come out and how that was quickly taken care of, I knew things were going to come after this. I knew that there were going to be other people that were going to follow in line, or people that he had past relationships with that were going to probably come forward and bring up allegations of his conduct and things that he's done.
When you hear about the sex trafficking, the hidden cameras in every room, the narcotics, paying off law enforcement, the affiliation with gangs, how do you interpret that?
Well, that's an allegation that someone else made about what happened.
Right.
The guns and the narcotics and things like that, these things happen in this business. It's out there in the hip hop world. I mean, I've come along a lot of cases where I've had rappers involved with drugs and guns and things like that. So I'm not surprised by that. But the government took a big step in waiting on this to come out and do this. They had this planned. Believe it or not, this is planned. I think even tonight, Diddy's girlfriend, Young Mommy, was caught distributing drugs. So she's been labeled as indicated in the federal report as supplying drugs. They count and paying people off. So this is only the start of this investigation. Your search warrant, now this comes out. Now there's going to be other things that's going to come out.
Why do you think the feds waited this long? Because this has been going on, according to these complaints, for a long time. What triggered this? Did he cross someone?
Yes. What happens is that the feds have developed cooperators, people that were affected by him or had some ties with him where they had some criminal activity, and they came forward and they give information. So the feds wanted to go in and they wanted to gather everything they could so they can present a tight case. And that's what they're doing right now.
This is going to be a tight case, we're hearing?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Derek. And thanks for all of your expertise.
You're welcome.
So amazing. I can't believe that he would have be allowed to even say half the stuff that he said during his show on Fox News, because that's why Tucker left. So now you got Jesse doing the same thing Tucker was trying to do, but why is he allowed to? See, something's off. You know, all of this stuff is just making me really wonder what's going on. Does it make you guys think that way?
Yep.
Something is going on, because they get rid of Tucker and then they put Jesse right up there and let him do it. I don't know. It just seems, because man, that was a mouthful. I mean, the crime syndicate stuff all around the Democratic Party, they're chucking the Biden administration under the bus hugely with everything he just said. I mean, that's what I see from that whole thing.
Yeah, but it's not just the Democrats; it's all politics. Basically,
no, I know that, and he's hinted around about the rich and powerful in the movie industry and the music industry and all that too. But the fact that he's able to say it on Fox News is making some red flags and alarms going off for me. It's something.
Basically, they're going to use Diddy as a sacrificial lamb. They're going to basically point everything toward him, and it distracts the larger aspect. They're going to compartmentalize it to basically say it's just him doing this stuff, and it's all going to be exposed, and then that's where it's going to end. It's just like the Baltimore sinking, what's going on there. Basically, it's an investigation's done already. It's already set in stone. Here's what he's done. We got him. We're going to prosecute him, and that's it. So the concentration will just be on one man doing all these things and not the vast, larger conspiracy of things. And the thing is that, again, they give Jesse some rope, but then that's where the conspiracy theories come in. So he speculates out there, but then that's going to basically, that fuels the conspiracy theorist aspect. But then the legal aspect will only concentrate on him. Mm-hmm. So it's going to get nowhere. Basically.
Well, this is what I wanted to bring up after we got to listen to all that, because here is the full list of names listed in Diddy's lawsuit right here. And it's got bunches of people on here. I mean, look at this. Stevie J, okay, I guess it's Stephen Jordan, a music producer. And then Young Miami, who's not labeled, but as a celebrity in the filing. Prince Harry, the Georgia Mass Choir, Grammy Award-winning R&B singer, all these people, billionaire. And then also,
Rihanna.
Yeah, look at all these people. But Jay-Z, I saw a video yesterday. I'm gonna see if I can find that real quick. I don't have to look for it while you're talking about your stuff. The thing is, I saw a video of Jay-Z and a couple other people, and they were doing toasts about them being in the Billionaires Club and how they've made it, and all this kind of stuff. I'm telling you, there's a shit ton of people on this, but this is what's interesting to me about all of this is the fact that why is this coming out, okay? And they're comparing him to Epstein, but Epstein was going to court, and then you had another person, his right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say her name, in prison right now, committed crimes against young women in trafficking them, right? They're in jail, but not one person on their list has been arrested. Interesting. And then all of a sudden this happens to take the heat off the Epstein stuff or something. I mean, what do they think? They think that all of us are just so stupid that we're not going to say, well, okay, you did for P. Diddy, now get the other people.
No, but that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It's going to drown out anything from Epstein.
Common sense understand that every person that was on that list going to that island, raping young women, right? And maybe boys too, because we don't know for sure. They're still doing it. They're still out there doing the same shit to other young people.
Correct. But again, not everybody's thinking that. Only a small group of people that we know are the ones that understand what's really happening. The mainstream media is not pushing it.
That's why
they don't want to, because they're probably the ones involved.
Why did Fox let Jesse do that?
But that's not. But because again, it plays into the role of Fox News to spoil as a Republican Party's talking point. That's all it is. It's not. It's nothing. It's very simplified. It basically will feed. See, it's the Democrats, and then Fox News is saying it, and then everyone's going to say, "Oh, Fox News is spreading propaganda." It's all that stuff. It's all it's going to be, and It only focuses. Yeah, it only helps fuel one side saying yes, Democrats are doing this, and then the other news outlets will say, oh, these are basically Trump supporters. They're all crazy, whatever, and that's where it'll stop. And then they're going, well, let's just concentrate on Diddy. Let's get him out there. Feds got him. It's done. And that's how it is. And then it will all go away. That's it. That's how it works.
Well,
Again,
there's lots and lots of victims. Why would the victims sit there and not say anything when they know who did it? Okay. But like in that list that I just showed you, it said one of the royals in there. Okay. Now on the other talk from the other list, there was another royal, a different royal in that list.
Yeah. An older one.
Yeah, the older one. Okay. So the royalties involved, I mean, that's big. That's huge. Okay.
Yeah,
Someone who's been charged for a very long time. And then P. Diddy's like a billionaire. Okay. And the people he hung with were billionaires. All of these people are all intertwined. And just like he said, they had cameras in every room of that mansion that they let people party and do whatever. Who knows what Homeland Security went in there, not the FBI, not the CIA, Homeland Security went into his house, 2 houses in California and Florida, and took stuff. Okay, took every electronic they got their hands on, and who knows how many DVDs or whatever, however they keep, flash drives. I'm telling you, I think it's a good thing. I mean, even though it isn't as big as I would love to see the Epstein shit just explode all over the place, I would love to see that because I want to see all these people punished. I just went through personal stuff in my own family with my niece, and to see that guy went to prison. We were all high-fiving, even though we know in 5 years we're going to have to go back to court to keep him in jail because he's going to be up for parole, okay, which he doesn't deserve because he could have got 60 years if he went to court, and that's what he should get. More than that, it should be a lifetime for what he did.
They should never offer deals to people like that.
I know, but I had nothing to do with it. I just was there to support my niece. The thing is that I want to see all of these people fry. I mean, I want to see them lose every dime they've got. I want to see them shamed where they can't work, have no jobs, and they're nobodies. I want to see them just completely gone. That would be wonderful. And then see all that money go to all the people that were assaulted. Every single one of them. Give it to them. Give them a home, give them cars, give them whatever. I want to see them get something showing that we gave a shit. We wanted to see these people fry. That would be a win. If we can do that, then we've learned something as a country and as a human race to start defending our children and start defending the helpless and make them pay. We already have 1 billion laws in all these countries to supposedly protect people, but when they get arrested for it, nothing happens. That's where
money is power.
It's bullshit.
Money is power. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, and that it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter whether you're rich or poor. It shouldn't matter whether you're black or white or Indian. It shouldn't. None of those things should matter. In the law, it's supposed to be justice is supposed to be blind. All of us are supposed to be treated exactly the same. And when the criminals are up here and the victims are down there being walked on, that's fucked up. Excuse my language, but that is messed up big time. And we need to work on it. We need to do, and this is a start. That's why I was so happy and I was applauding when I saw this interview with Jesse, and then afterward, I was shocked. Going, that was on Fox News. I mean, I was shocked.
Yeah, but again, it's you're making you're going down a path that the truth of what's going to go on, but if you look at what they're saying, it's very benign, and it's just going to basically only be centered on him. That's all it is. It's as far as it's going to go.
Well, I hope you're wrong. I'm in my gut. I kind of understand where you're coming from, and I'm leaning towards you because I know that you're probably right, but I'm so sick of not getting anything. I'm so sick of our country losing and all our people, the good people, losing. I would really love to see a couple wins, but for Jesse to say, Obama's name and to say Biden's name and to say Hillary's name. He said all these people that hung with this guy. And I've seen pictures, out the wazoo the last 2 days of Oprah Winfrey, of all these people that supposedly been talked about for years for child trafficking, child endangerment, all those things, and seeing more and more pictures, and they're not being taken down.
But again, you're having a news analysis program on one channel talk about it.
Yep.
No journalism is talking about it. No journalist is talking about it. If they do, they're going to only say that what the law is saying. Homeland Security raided. They have captured this. They're going after this, and it's only to be on Diddy and his compadres that are doing it, and it's all going to be on him. And they're going to exonerate any of the politicians or anybody else. It's going to happen.
Well, I hope you're wrong.
But
I really
because that's how it's working. If you have some independent journalists doing something, Benny Johnson through Drew Hernandez, or anybody else out there like Laura Logan or Cheryl Atkinson going to do something that it could be more, or even the new Catherine Herridge. If what's his name, Elon gets involved and has his people go out there and do something to start investigating Matt Taibbi and all that stuff, because it is about a broader aspect. But it is I will agree with you. It is very connected to Epstein, very connected to the political elite. But again, it's election year, and they're going to try and hush us up. The only thing that I still can't wrap my mind around is that why now? Yeah,
me too. That's another thing. I'm puzzled right now, but I'm trying not to be sucked into just tunnel vision like a lot of people seem to get. And I'm trying to look at the outside of the orb and see what's going on and what direction. And then you had the bridge collapse,
right?
Just little. I'm trying to pay attention. I'm writing down everything. I'm trying to really focus in and try to find out, a little bit more about who's reporting things and what states these are happening and who's involved in the cleanup and I don't know, just everything about every little detail about everything I can find.
If you want to go into conspiracy theory, then theoretically it's like basically maybe Diddy basically had a conversation with Obama and Clinton, like, again, maybe bringing up what you just said. He shielded from them in 2004, 2008, 2016, 2020. And what did they get from him? Nothing. So he probably said, I'm done with this shit. He was probably going to come out supporting Trump or something else, RFK. Yeah. Then they said, you have this on our people. We have this on you. We're going to raid you now. Boom. It's a raid. Just like they did.
Took everything. The thing is that if somebody gave him the heads up early enough for him to get out like he did, what did he take with him and hide? So is he still a threat? You see what I mean? Is he still a threat to these people? That's why they want to take care of it right away, and but that plays into the whole aspect of it. If he's on the run or he's trapped somewhere or he's under arrest, wherever he may be right now, we don't know exactly. There were rumors that he left the country. There's rumors that he's been detained in Miami. But there's nothing public. So that if it's nothing public, then we know it's shadow operation that's occurring. And again,
this is a non-extradition country is where he is.
And no one else is talking about it.
Well, yeah, not really, because see, I can't really be a good judge on that because I don't watch anybody anymore. I get all my news from you guys, from my friends on YouTube and on Rumble.
Yeah, I know. I don't watch it. I don't watch anything anymore. It's all lies. Again,
you know, and I can't comment on the news completely, especially local news, you know, like in
Correct.
Florida, things like that. I don't feel comfortable with
But like I said, the mainstream media message is that his plane left, he fled, and that they are going now. They're saying that since he had the child trafficking, the drugs, the sex, the the minors, and the fact that, and he also did this for the Democrats. That is, you're playing both sides. You're playing this conspiracy theory aspect of it to placate anybody on the right, and you're placating justice. Anybody who's basically it's here it is. We got him. We're going to prosecute him. They shut him up. They shut anybody else up. So then anybody else that's doing this right now, they'll continue to do it, because again, you have Epstein and what he was able to do, and what Ghislaine is still, you know, she was arrested and prosecuted for, but but all the clients are still free. So then that's business as usual. Yeah, you're right. So I've been saying that ever since, before they even put her in trial, when she was just being held, I was constantly talking about, when are we going to see the list? So then I bet you here's what's going to happen then. Basically, if there's a prosecution that's going to happen, what they're going to tout is that so-and-so prosecutor is going after Diddy now. He's in charge of the trial. And blah, blah, blah was a Trump appointee or something on the GOP side. They're going to play that part into. So again, saying that, you know, he's going after black people. So that's the whole idea. It's going to be twisted around. You have to be very careful.
Of course.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is this part of it. Okay, I was saying the same thing the other day when I first heard about it, that if they did go to his they get him and they take him to his opening hearing or whatever to find out what they're going to do and what charges he's going to get and all this kind of stuff, that they would start saying, yeah, if it's a Trump appointed judge, they're going to say, oh, they're racist. They just want to fry him because he's a billionaire black man, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that Jesse just did that thing and touted Obama and all the other stuff that was going on and what they were talking about, and the list of names that's come out that were connected and that they're probably involved because that's the information they collected from the two houses. There's black people in that. And these people that did this were under Biden's administration. See, so I'm having a hard time.
They're not going to say that. That's not provable at all. It's not provable. What do you mean they're not under the administration? What do you mean under the administration?
What I mean is,
you mean support
when they go to court. When they go to court, they'll say they were arrested and all the stuff was collected by Homeland Security under the Obama administration. Basically,
no, again, that won't be that way. That's a thing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that we can make some changes and make it something. You know, get something out of this. If enough people make a stink.
But that's the whole point. You are placating the right argument. Let's get something done, and then when you get that done, it shuts everybody else up. Because again, let's get them, and then it'll be gone.
Well, I'm doing it because I'm a mom, and I want to see people pay when they make children suffer. And they should be arrested for it, and they should go to prison if they're convicted of a crime for whatever it is. Right. They should be punished for it. The sad fact is that I think the reason they waited as long as they did on some of it was because some of the things that they're saying that he got away with under Obama administration, by the shooting and the different things that happened, the statute of limitations has probably run out. So nothing can be done about any of that stuff. See, maybe that's why they waited so long to do it. See, little things like that. That's the stuff that I'm trying to get in the background to figure out what's going on with that. But okay, so I guess we can stop talking about Diddy now. So what was it that you said you wanted to bring up, Orange Hat?
Kathy Hochul got expelled from a funeral.
Oh, that's right. Do you have the
So,
link for that? And I can share it.
Yep, let me just share it. Now, there is conflicting reports, folks, where she did go in and they let her in. She talked with the family and whatnot. However, I'm having a hard time believing that. Governor Hochul confronted by mourner at NYPD officer Jonathan Diller's wake. Crowd applauds as she leaves. I'm not going to play the thing because, I mean,
you could tell, and you couldn't hear exactly what he was saying, but you could tell how upset that gentleman was when he was over there talking to him.
And so basically, she was filmed being confronted by an emotional mourner on her way out of a short visit to the wake of a slain NYPD hero, Jonathan Diller, Friday afternoon, with bystanders applauding as she made her exit. Essentially, folks, Jonathan Diller was killed by a person that was pulled over, and this person had been released and had committed a lot of violent felonies, armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and other such stuff. Bail reform laws allow them to get out. They keep on being able to be bailed out and such. And if it wasn't for these draconian laws, Jonathan Diller, who is a father of a child, a baby, that baby will grow up without her father or his father. All because of laws implemented by Kathy Hochul and by other New York lawmakers. I believe also by the previous jackass. I can't even remember his name.
Isn't he the one that put all the old people, put all those sick people in the nursing homes?
Cuomo.
Got all Cuomo, Perry,
Cuomo.
not Perry, whatever his name is. I can't remember.
His laws that he created as well. These bail reform laws are freaking insane in the state of New York. And so when she had to turn around and get out because people were not happy with her there, if it were me, if I was the chief of police or the commissioner of the police in NYPD, I would simply say, if she comes there, you all turn your back on her. You turn your back. You do not look at her. You do not talk with her. You do not say anything of it. This woman is responsible for allowing us to keep justice and order in this state. She is refusing to do so. And it is because of that we lost one of ours. There was an episode of Blue Bloods a while back where the mayor was coming out with some draconian laws and whatnot. And it turns out that, well, one of the police were killed. And she went to pay her respects. And every single cop turned their back on her. And she learned immediately that it would be best to just back out, slink out, get the hell out. Because what she did was absolutely wrong. And Blue Bloods is on its final season, sadly. But I understand why it's not going on, because honestly, people see shows like that as propaganda. I see it as one of the they don't like pro cop shows. That's why they're even shitting on SWAT right now. Pushing all the we're black, we're oppressed bullshit too over on that one. But in this one, it's about a white Irish family, which is the most evil fucking thing in Hollywood right now. If you're white and Irish, you are you're basically the same as the devil. Even though they're Catholic in the show. Yeah. But they're starting to push liberal, or the wonderful thing about Blue Bloods, folks, was that even though the show was about cops and whatnot, they kept it even throughout its entire run. They started to push a little bit of left-wing agenda, but they also got pushed back from people like Tom Selleck and them. Basically, the way that the show goes is when they start introducing the left-handed bullshit that the left likes to pull or push, you also see the other side of it in a more objective standard in the eyes of the law. It's like, we are looking at it through the eyes of the law. It can't afford to be looked at it through a biased lens, which is emotional. And when it comes to our police officers and the safety of our citizens, Kathy Hochul doesn't care. She doesn't care about the cop that died. She showed up, so what? Chances are she doesn't give two shits. She won't even remember his name. I mean, by the time she got in her vehicle, the name Jonathan Dillard probably was not even in her memory.
Yeah,
and that
probably
is bullshit and disgraceful. That woman, as well as her all the lawmakers in the state Senate of New York, should be ashamed of themselves for allowing draconian and bullshit laws like the bail reform laws, and yes, even the sanctuary status of New York State, which she also has the ability to get rid of, and she won't.
Yeah, see, this is what kind of like what we were talking about. I don't remember if it was last Friday or the Friday before, about what do these cities think's going to happen when they can't get a single person to sign up to be a police officer? What's going to happen to the people of their cities when no one signs up anymore and people start quitting and going other places?
That's what's happening right now. It's already happening.
I know, and the crime is going through the roof.
Yep.
You tie your cops' hands. You won't let them arrest people that are shoplifting, filling garbage bags up with product, okay? Raising the taxes on everybody, but you're not raising the amount of money you pay your cops, and you're not raising the money that you need to pay your firemen or your paramedics. So you've got all of our first responders being treated like dirt, afraid to even go out to help anyone because they're going to get killed, and they don't have a government that runs our city that gives a shit. You know, I don't see how any of this is supposed to work. You can't run anything, a household or anything, when you have no rules. You can't have a budget. You can't have safety. I mean, you can't have any of those things if you don't have laws and you don't have people to enforce the laws. It's lawlessness. And so when a woman is walking down the street and a illegal just walks out and punches her in the face and knocks her to the ground, he can either rape her, rob her, kill her, whatever they want. And they don't seem to be bothered by any of this because it isn't them. See, if these people that are doing this stuff to just regular people walking down the street, if they would do it to the mayor, do it to the mayor's families, break into their homes, squat in their properties, then maybe then they'll say, wow, this really does suck. Maybe we should do something about it. But I don't see how they can look at it and say, oh, well, we have to accept these wonderful people because there are new workers. There are the new people who are going to be our cops. They're going to be our military and stuff. Who wants these criminals to be standing next to them when they're out on the battlefield? Or to be a cop standing next to you that once was a guy that was beating women in the street. I mean, I just don't, where is the common sense in any of it? None of this makes any freaking sense. And you got dead cops and you got
for society to
dead people, in the streets. And our society is just crying out for help. But we don't have anybody in charge that gives a shit.
but you're
for society to heal, it must be brought down.
Yeah, but the thing is that you're gonna have the backlash. Basically, you're gonna have another Giuliani or somebody coming in even worse, probably what they want to do, is basically like they were already having the National Guard in subways and still having people getting killed and stabbed. So what's going to happen is, again, it's a backlash. Basically, the government the government is run by corrupt people who then put these laws or lack of enforcing laws. It will cause people to run rampant, attack women, stab, kill cops, and then then when you have somebody come in, then they'll step it up. So it's basically still enforcing government control to do nothing, or government control to be draconian.
Yes.
And that's what's going to happen.
I declare martial
this is
law.
what I've been saying for a little
That's the
while.
whole point. That's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's how it's built up. That's how it's built up.
I said this a while back. I said that I feel what's going to happen in my gut, just simply because I'm trying to look at it with logic, with common sense of watching all these different things unfold. When they started off by saying, don't arrest anyone unless they steal over $900. How are you supposed to stand there and watch them and calculate everything they're raking off the shelf into a bag? I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then you got people standing in line with actual merchandise, and then they're going to say, well, why should I pay for this shit? When these people just walked out and makes mine, I bought 2 things and now I'm going to pay 3 times what it's worth simply because they let these people walk away with the products. Okay, and then they're taking it down the street and they're selling it on eBay and other things. That's
But not only that, you have some people that still believe in the lunacy. For example, you have Walgreens where they had that. What you were talking about, the $950. So you had some people would basically say, okay, everything is $951 and give you a coupon and you can get out there. So that way, or they end up locking everything away. And then, or they basically say, we're not going to have this store anymore. We'll close it up. So those last two, locking things up into cabinets. You don't want to get a razor. You want to get whatever product you want to get. You do that. They were already saying that that's racist. And when like Walgreens and Walgreens, Rite Aid, and who is it, KFC, a lot of these restaurants are closing up. You had the community come out and say that they're leaving because they don't believe in the community. They're being racist against us. No, you are not following the whole aspect of law and order. You're not raising your kids correctly. But it goes back to what I said before. Back in the 60s, they went after the black families. They told black mothers to kick their husbands out. They put crack cocaine in the inner city. They marginalized the effect of cocaine versus crack. They caused the Vietnam War, sent people off to get killed, and the people who are the draft dodgers are now still running still in Congress, still in the presidency, they're still doing this stuff. And the good men who volunteered, died, believed in the cause of freedom and against communism are dead. They have flags. They're Gold Star families who are shunned and yelled at. And you have, and Orange Hat is correct. The idea that Blue Bloods, never saw the show, but I understand the whole process of it. Just same thing when you had SWAT, or you have Top Gun, all these movies about patriotism, America, doing right, doing good. And then, but right now, what is good going to get you? It's apathy. You're at
the bottom.
Yeah.
If you're a good person, you get treated like shit.
Correct.
And you try to do the right thing. But the thing is that I still believe that this is all set up. They're bringing in all these illegals. They're giving them Visa cards. They're shipping them to specific places, to different states, because when they do the census, it's going to give them more electoral college votes because they have more people, right? So that's all they got to do is move it around. And then none of us go work the polls because we don't give a shit. We don't care enough to take one day off to sign up to work the polls in every single town, in every single state. If we could do that, there's millions of us. We could do it. And guess what? They're not going to pull out a box of ballots in front of me and start shoving them in a machine. They're not going to do it. Okay, we will scare the shit out of them because they know you're caught. Hey, I'm taking your picture and I'm calling the newspaper right now. I'm calling the sheriff, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm a bitch. I would do that. Okay, I have no problem. But what's going to happen is they don't want that to happen. They don't want you and I to work the polls because they don't want us to, because they know what's going to happen. They know that we're not voting for Biden, right? And so they don't want us to go to the polls. So they're going to have martial law because there's going to be riots in the street, people fighting. These people are already attacking us because they're paid off. They're given Visa cards. They told to go squat in people's homes, and our own government is not letting us get our properties back. They're making us go to court and pay for lawyers and all this shit for property we've been paying freaking taxes on all over an illegal alien. Okay, that already shows me my government isn't for me. My government is for them and chaos. So
that's why I like Florida and Texas right now, because Texas and Florida are basically saying if you break the law or if you try this squatting bullshit in our state, you will fuck around and find out.
Good.
Governor Greg Abbott just recently, or Governor Abbott in Texas just recently spoke to the citizenry. If you have a squatter who is trying to do that, you have every right to defend your household by any means necessary.
I'm gonna
Orange Hat.
Go ahead.
Being that you're a New York resident, and what is going on in New York City, and being you're upper New York per se, can it get so bad in New York City itself that New York does turn red?
New York is more red than people realize. When Molinaro was running against Cuomo, 95% of the entire state voted for Molinaro. All of the different districts and all of it, 95% of the districts. The only thing that caused Cuomo to win was New York, Albany, Buffalo, and Rochester.
So what is an inflection point in New York for it to follow the state when it comes to these problems? Because you're seeing it in the streets where it's
not just the governor though. We actually have to start going into, or it's local elections, state senators and whatnot that also need to be voted in because they are also the lawmakers.
But what's it going to take?
It's probably going to take people in these cities to suffer drastic loss. It's probably going to take death.
Because think about this way: you have like the whole idea that Janet and you were bringing up, the whole idea of migrants here in Chicago. What's going on now is you have people that are complaining. The black neighborhood people are complaining that their migrants are getting all the benefits. So they're basically saying, "I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for vote red, not blue. I'm voting red. I'm voting red." So they are now actively, publicly in public halls saying how bad it is, and they're not going to vote for this anymore. They're turning. So
that's why there won't be an election. I hate to say that, but I really fear that we're going to be under martial law and we won't have elections.
But what would cause it martial? What's going to cause that martial law? What, in your opinion?
The riots. It's going to be riots in every single big city in every single state. That's what I think.
Okay.
That's why they're bringing in millions of people. They're giving them guns. They get the right to own a weapon. We had our Supreme Courts are voting for these people. They're setting it up. I mean, what do you think is going to happen when you put people on the Supreme Court in all these states that don't even know what a woman is? They can't even define a woman. They're already paid off. That's why they got the seat. So when these people come in, you vote for them to let them have weapons, let them do whatever, let them squat, let them do this, that, and the other, because as long as we're giving them what they want for nothing, they're going to do what we say when we give them that call on that free Obama phones that they got.
So then if martial law does take place, how would they win if people don't want martial law? If it happens in the election, it makes no sense.
I think if we did go to have civil war, we would win. You and me, the people fighting for our homes and our families, we would win. We'd kick ass. The sad fact is how many people is going to die. That's what's sad to me. And this government that we're at right now, honestly, they don't give a shit. That's
Right, I
what's
know
sad.
that. I know that.
That's what breaks my heart, is because we kicked ass in our last war that we had to have, fighting amongst ourselves in our own country because we didn't agree, and we're going to end up having to do it again with people that are brainwashed into believing that this government that we have right now, which is plain as day, there's a nose on my face, that they don't give a shit about you and me. Okay, but these people, for some reason, believe them. Either because they're giving them money, or they're giving them free food or free drugs or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not one of them. All I know is when a person can walk over the border, and we got them, they went there purposely and tore down big sections of border wall that the other president we had before was building.
Right.
Okay. They purposely did it. They're purposely bringing these people in and putting them in planes and buses and other vehicles and taking them to certain areas for a reason. Just because I don't know doesn't mean I don't believe it's nefarious, because it is.
Well, there are three factions of people. Basically, there are three factions. You have people who legitimately want to come here and start a better life. You have people who come here because they're the rejects from where they're coming from, and they're just coming here because they're mentally ill, mentally unstable, or whatever. And the third is the ones with a nefarious aspect. They want to commit crimes and do things. So the two, economically charged and a little bit on the downtrodden side, what would make them switch? Because again, if you look at polling, the blacks and Hispanics are now turning more conservative.
Well, one thing is, just from where they're coming from South America. I'm talking about just people from South America. I'm not talking about the ones that are coming from China and other countries. Okay. I'm talking about the ones from South America. Most of them are pretty religious. Okay. They have religious beliefs. They're family oriented. Okay. And if they come here and they have a family just like you and me, and they have a wife sitting over there with a new baby, okay, and this guy comes in from the cartel or whatever and says, get your ass up and you're coming with us and you're going to do what we say, or guess what? Your wife and baby are dead. He's going to do what they tell him, just like you and I are going to do. We're going to fight for what we believe in. And if he's being told, you do what we say, or these people are going to kill your family, they're going to do what they're told. They're going to go and they're going to take weapons. They're going to slit our throats. They're going to kill our babies. They're going to burn our houses down. They're going to do it because they think they're doing the right thing to save their family, not realizing how deep they're getting it in, and that their family's going to probably end up dead already, or they're going to be arrested and sent back over there once the Civil War is over. But that's a sad fact, because these people, they're going to use them just like they did right now. They're sending people over, their kids are giving their children to traffickers, right? Giving them money, and they're sending them over because they think there's a better way for them here, not realizing you just handed your child over to people that are going to sell your kid, whether it's a boy or a girl, day after day, probably 10 times a day, for sex, blowjobs, whatever else that they want to get.
And they're doing that, and they're doing that in New York right now. You see it on
doing
YouTube.
It in every single state.
Correct.
Every single state.
But they're showing us now what they're doing. And what's funny is that what they're doing with the third world country. You go to Mexico, you go to Thailand, you go to Philippines, you go to these third world countries. As a single man or someone who wants to get some action done, you're going to have the solicitation for sex all over the place. Yep. And now that type of activity is happening in New York, Boston, Chicago, because it's what they're used to. It's that whole mentality of corruption is being brought here. So again, that's the whole idea where people have to wake up and not. And the thing is, don't wake up and say, government, do something. No, we're going to do something. You do something.
I am, and I'm voting these people out, and I'm going to work the polls. I'm doing everything I can think of from my town. Just like I said, we have to take back our towns, take back our towns, take back our cities, and then we take our states back. And once we own our states again, guess what? The federal government's gone.
Right.
That's how we win. One state at a time. But that's why I say everybody in your town, everybody in your family, at your church, your bowling league, your poker team, whatever, your sports group that you're in, you sit down and you say, okay, this year we all got to sign up to work the polls. I'm not talking about a poll watcher, a person that just stands there to see if they're doing something. I'm talking about a person that takes an oath with a judge, and you sit your ass down and you get signatures, you write things down, blah, 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 and you pass out a ballot. That's what I'm talking about. Then at the end of the night, you count them.
It's more you're talking about more a civic duty, being someone, an officer of the judiciary.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now that if Ruben's sitting in that table over there, and I walk by and I see it, I can tell you right now, in my heart, I know that that's going to be clean. That table's clean. Every vote that goes by that table is going to be a fair vote.
Correct.
Okay? And me, I'll sit at my little table with my little small section. Every damn vote is going to be mattered that's going to go across my table, because I am going to make sure. That's what I'm trying to say. And I trust everybody. I trust other people like you and me more sitting their ass in those chairs counting those ballots than I do anyone in that White House.
Well, that's true, because again, I grew up in, like everyone famously knows, Laredo, Texas, the worst city in America, and I never associate with anybody. I don't talk to people. If you basically said go work the polls, I said no, I'm not going to. I want these people. I want the city to burn.
That's your choice. But
I know.
What I'm trying to say is the only way we win is by taking back our states.
Correct. And that's why I'm basically now I'm looking for a home to do that in, where I would be on a serve as mayor or whatever and all that stuff.
And you're going to have someone to do it with you.
Correct.
That's right.
That's what I want.
You have something worth fighting for. That's what I'm trying to say. When you have something worth fighting for and worth protecting, you're going to go the extra mile.
True, but I've already said that I'm like you in a way where you say martial law. I basically said just be ready just to be off grid.
Yeah,
which is totally.
I've been doing that for 3 years, working towards being able to take care of myself, to grow my own vegetables, grow my own fruits and vegetables, my chickens, to have something to barter, eggs and chickens. And then I can fish. I know how to hunt squirrel. I had a clean squirrel. I'm not really good at deer yet. I know I'll waste a lot when I do it myself, but I'm doing it. I'm learning because if I have to live on my own and take care of myself, I'm going to be able to do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I probably won't be wearing makeup anymore or looking pretty good. But the thing is, I won't have pretty nails, but I don't care. I'm going to be alive, and I'm going to fight for what I have and protect what I have. Because when they come, I'm going to end up dying at my house with my gun in my hand.
Well, no, don't
protecting what little I have, because I want everyone to have that right to be able to keep what you worked for. Everything you've worked for in your life is yours. You've paid taxes on your house. You pay taxes on your car. You should be able to keep it.
What's taxes?
Yeah. But what I mean is, you should be able to keep what you've earned. And if your family has passed down that farmhouse for 3 generations, who in the hell has the right to come in and take it from you? They don't. They shouldn't have the right to do that. A rancher in Texas should be able to protect his property for his cattle and not have squatters throwing garbage all over the place and shit.
Honestly,
and stealing his cows. Stuff like that.
I think that if illegals are coming over and trespassing onto farmland, I believe that farmer has every right to give them a warning, to get the fuck off the property, or introduce them to a little lead.
And
I'm sorry, but you are endangering my crop, my livelihood, my life.
But last month, remember, I announced on the show, one of the shows, that the state of Arizona has already had more illegals pass over its border than they had in the whole state of Arizona. They've over doubled the amount of people in their state simply by people walking over the border. That's what I'm talking about. We're doubling our country's mouths to feed. and we're in trillions of dollars in debt. Our great grandchildren that aren't even conceived yet are already in debt before they're even born. By the time and November happens, we have election. If we have it, it's all the way until January of next year. We have until January of next year to lose more money, to go more in debt.
But again. Again, this is where I get kind of upset when people say get Trump in and everything will change. No, you have
I
to
don't
change
believe
things.
that.
You have to change everything everything from from your city, from your attitude at your home to your
That's what I'm
attitude in your
saying. We can't wait.
town, your state. Yeah, you have to go do that way.
We're not going to make it. We are not going to make it. If everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Trump's going to fix it," no, he's not. He's one person, and when he has a lame duck Congress and Senate, right? He's going to be doing everything with executive orders again, like last time. We can't expect. He's not a savior. He's a man. He's one man, people.
Right. That's what I mean.
That's why I can't stand sycophants.
I know us, you and me and everyone in this chat are the only ones that are going to save this country. We got to save our towns, save our kids.
Yeah,
save our cities.
Right, and that's why the very first thing, because I've already had this discussion with Haya, and basically what we want to do is like no public school, private school, teach your kids, no computers, no this, none of this crap, nothing like that. Books, you're going to read, you're going to do this stuff, and you're going to know the Constitution, know the Bill of Rights, you're going to know everything. And that's one aspect of it here is no one cares. No one sees and understands what they need to do. They need to step up and start doing things. And it's almost too late already, but we need to start working on it now. That's what I'm doing.
Well, I felt very depressed. I really felt like I was starting to lose hope about the people, the people standing up and starting to fight for what they believe in and saving our towns and saving our states. But then I got that letter that said, you have been summoned to serve jury duty. And I was like, what? So I go in and I got picked to be on a jury panel. And there was like 90 something people, okay, that's on this panel for my little county that I'm in. And I was surprised to see every time I've been called to go see whether or not I'm going to be picked for a jury, which is 4 times so far. And you go and you sit there, you check in, you get your name checked off on the list. And after they've gone the roll call and they got everybody there, which is like 90 people, then they say, okay, we got to go in. Some of us go into the courtroom. And then they have the doors open so other people outside can hear. And then they'll randomly call off names that's spit out by the computer. And then 18 people go and sit in these chairs like they're at a jury. And then they're asked questions by the DA and by the defense attorney. And then they'll say no, yes, and pick a jury. And if they don't have enough, then they have to do the whole thing again, where they bring 18 more people in until they have 12 jurors and 2 alternates. And we just have to sit there and wait until our name is called. And all 3 times, my name hasn't been called once. Okay. 2 of the people that I've met now that go to my gym, they've been called both times, not to be on jury duty, but to have been sitting up there to be selected from once they ask them questions. So getting to watch the process of it has been very interesting. But the fact that all these people showed up each time, and I'm recognizing their faces, gives me hope that there are people that still give a shit about whether somebody can get a fair trial, which means one day one of them might be sitting in that chair waiting and hoping that a jury, at least one person on that jury, is going to believe in what's going on and help them get a fair trial. So that showed me that there are people still out there that have faith and belief in our legal system and the way our system is set up, at least in the state of Arkansas. That's all I can judge on for that. But I kind of rejuvenated for that purpose, which is great. And then I go to spaces on X, and you talk about signing up to work the polls and signing up and trying to do jury duty and do things to help your town. Go to city council meetings, all those things, and I do it myself. But I hope I inspire other people, at least one other person or two other people, because if they can do it, then they inspire someone else themselves. And if we can just get a spark ignited of people wanting to band together like they did for Bud Light, if they can do it for Bud Light, then there's enough people that can make a change in our country. I just know it. In my heart, I just have
I don't know what it is. I don't know if you have childish optimism or just I don't know. I don't know.
I
for
can
me,
help
it's
it.
well. For me, I'm apathetic. I don't give a shit about anybody. Really, I don't care. I don't really
Yes,
don't
you do,
care.
because you want a child, and if you have a child,
well, I care about one person, but that's about
the
it.
thing is, when you have you and her together, and you have a child, that's 3. Okay,
Correct.
And now that child has got to have friends. Going to grow up one day and want to get married, whether it's a girl or a boy. It's going to change everything about you because of this one thing it's changing in your life.
Correct.
And you are looking at the future of your country, of where your child is going to grow up.
Right.
And that's I already have that. So I already have that excitement of wanting my child to be able to get married and have a good job, all those things. So you will have it. And I know
it. That's basically that's the difference. The job aspect and the whole, that's where I've never fallen down that aspect. The career aspect. You want to do right for yourself. It's not about a job, work for somebody else. You work for yourself. I work
for myself.
Yeah. That's the whole idea.
I do work for myself. I do promo work and stuff like that. And so basically I have to pay my own taxes and do all that stuff myself. But that was my choice. But other people will have a choice. And your child, whichever you have, when you have it, will have their own decisions, whether you want to agree with them or not. That's just the way it is. Just like you did with your parents. All kids do that. They're going to go off on their own and make their own decisions, whether you like it or not. That's just fact of life. But the fact is that it's fun getting to see Ruben on his journey, because I've known you for a while, and to see you changing and listening to what you thought was important and slowly seeing it slowly change over time is inspiring to me. And I can help it if I'm
We'll see.
But I believe in love. I believe in love still. I believe that there is true love, and I believe that love can conquer all. I really do. So I can help.
Yeah, and the thing is, like you, but like you say martial law. I say something worse.
It might be worse, but I know it's going to be something. I know this government is not going to just hand it over and just say, whatever, I'm done. They're not going to do that.
Right.
Everything they said that Trump tried to do, they're going to do for real.
They are doing it. That's the whole point.
Yeah, they are doing it, but they're going to do it in massive amounts, and they have numbers because they've been bringing them over the border.
Right.
So they got the numbers to do it. They got the cash. They got everything they need, and we're going to have to fight and protect ourselves and our families.
Right.
And our businesses and our homes.
Yep.
So that's how I see it. So, well, is there anything else you guys want to bring up? Because I pretty much got all my off my chest, and I got to get up early in the morning and get to go to the gym.
Well, the one last thing people need to talk about. I'll just say this: the one thing they should look out for is look into this whole Baltimore thing. There's more out there. Follow Laura Logan.
Yes.
Follow what's going on there, because again,
you mean talking about the bridge?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
so then it's just go out there and look at it. I'm not gonna keep. There's things you can't say on YouTube. You can say on X. You can say on Rumble.
I know.
But there's a lot going out there. So just be very careful. But it's I'm tired myself too. I hear you there. But there's a lot going on right now. We have to be very diligent in what's going on in the world. It's a shit show. It is a shit show right now, and we just have to basically keep on pushing for finding out what's truth is for all these aspects. It all is interconnected. Because again, the one thing that is record, you can look it up, is that the company that that had the ship was the same person who was saying, I think it was 6 months ago, was the sister-in-law of McConnell's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then it's out there, and then she was in a car, a Tesla that somehow drove itself into water.
Burst into flames. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Oh, she
drowned.
drowned. Okay. There was another one that burst into flames, wasn't there?
I don't know about that one.
Somebody up. I'm trying to remember who that was, but I remember reading about that on X too.
Right. But yeah, but
and that was a big person too, another government person.
Right. Yeah.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, it is all interesting right now. And you have the one big thing that's happening. You have Julian Assange and what his stuff's going on here. So keep on following on X what's going on here, because again, we're still only in March. April's coming up, and who knows what's going to happen.
Easter is Sunday, so I just want everybody to spend some time this weekend with your family and get lots of hugs and share lots of laughs, and just try to enjoy your
the bunnies.
weekend.
Don't forget the bunnies.
Yeah, don't forget the bunny rabbits and the Easter eggs and all the fun stuff with children. And let children be kids for a weekend. Just let them play and have their imaginations, and watch their little smiling faces. And we got the eclipse coming up next week too. That's another event that's going to be happening. But tomorrow I'm going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons live again on the internet. So it's going to be fun when we're playing the Terrankeld group. The other one I play is the beta test we're doing for Bruce, because he's writing his own game that he wants to get published. So that's what I'm doing on the other one. But and then Sunday we'll watch Used Cars. And then we're gonna with Kurt Russell. I've never seen it, so I'm excited about it. And then right after we're done, we will do the little review where we talk about it and stuff. So that's what's going to happen for me on Sunday. And until next Friday, that's basically all I'm going to have going on with me. So what's going on with you guys on your channels?
Well, me, April is most likely going to be thoughts on different franchises for the theme streams, where I give my thoughts not just on specific movies, but on the franchises as a whole. I'll be choosing different ones, not choosing the MCU because, well, I already did a large discussion on the MCU. But basically like Alien franchise, Terminator franchise, stuff like that.
It sounds like fun.
The Thursdays for the singles in April are going to be The Accountant with Ben Affleck as an autistic assassin, and From Paris with Love with John Travolta as a insane super agent. And Mara's going to be choosing what the 1s and 2s are going to be on her channel. Other than that, this Sunday night, the Sunday evening, I will be, or when I get back from the theaters, I will be giving my full honest thoughts on Godzilla Kong, where I will be doing a spoiler-free before I do a spoiler video. They're both going to be in the same stream. However, I always do spoiler-free before I do spoilers. So other than that, Tuesday nights, I'm on the Barroom Podcast. Tomorrow at noon, I will be doing a thing on Society Reviews channel, who also does the Barroom Podcast, but we're going to be talking 90s Nickelodeon and whatnot. So,
I want to jump in real quick since you said that about the movie. I went and saw the new Ghostbusters movie, and I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen it yet and you like the original Ghostbusters, take your kids this weekend and enjoy it. before Easter. It's a good family movie. It's a little bit scary, so I wouldn't take little kids, but if they're like 10, 11, I think it's a good age, and they've seen the original Ghostbusters with you, then I think you guys will have a really good time. Go ahead, Ruben, it's your turn.
Yeah, so basically I'm gonna be posting more on X or on Rumble. I've been been doing a lot of things, been working really hard, looking for work. I've been having a lot of interviews. There's one that looks fairly good. It's down in Texas, so we'll see what happens. But they're all over the place. There's Philadelphia, there's Florida, there's Chicago. They're all over. So who knows? And but what I've been doing and will start to be doing is how to set up your systems for security. It's very important because again, if your scenario happens with lockdowns and martial law, you want to be able to have good communication. So I don't use Windows, I don't use Apple, I use Linux. So that's how I do things, and I'm doing the same thing with my phone and all of my communication, so they're all secure. And you want to get those things done. So I'm going to start doing those things to offer that help there, and start doing some tutorials there to help do that. So I want to start doing next month.
Okay, great. It sounds awesome. I just want to say thank you to everyone in the chat that hung out with us, and on X and on Rumble and on YouTube. We really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And I just want to say thank you again. And if you're not following these two guys, you need to, because they're awesome. Yeah, they're really good friends of mine, and I adore them. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and making us feel like we're something special. So you guys have a great night. See you later.
Stay humble, folks.